Hello, everyone, and welcome to Day 2 AFL Trade Period Wrap. I'm recording this 45 minutes officially before the day of closing because I've got some stuff on, so to record a bit early. So I'm hoping nothing gets mentioned now after this recording. If it does, for today, I'll be posting it on Facebook and Instagram as it happens, and I'll mention it in tomorrow's video if there's any more major news or even minor news to mention. I'll mention it in tomorrow's daily trade wrap video. So the news of today, not so much. It was a few things I'm going to mention. 2 official trades that happened and some interesting developments on Lockie Schultz and Freo and what Peter Bell, the GM of the Dockers, is saying. Plain and simple here, with Lockie Schultz, I'll start with now. Peter Bell was on Trade Radio, and this is the quote that Peter Bell said when asked about Collingwood's offer. Peter Bell said the Dockers would listen to Collingwood's offer, but the club remained in a good place with Schultz if a trade could not be facilitated. We had a conversation and he was perfectly comfortable with the proposition of returning to Freo and playing out 2024 at least. His understanding of the situation, we are understanding of his situation for his personal reasons, but an acknowledgement of that circumstance is not an agreement to trade. An agreement to trade. He's fully aware of that. It's in a good place, so we'll listen to Collingwood and take it from there. Freo are known to be stubborn. He's got some family reasons, Lockie Schultz, why he wants to go there. Pick 19 is Collingwood's first pick, and that'll have to be a part of it, and potentially a future second as well, considering where Collingwood will generally finish late in top of the ladder range. It's top 4, so that'd be between 15 and 18. Academy bids could push it out. So it could be about pick 19 and a future second, which would be in the 25 range as well, which is probably a bit overs, but he's contracted. So Collingwood have to pay a bit more than they want to for Lockie Schultz, but he's a very, very good player. James Harms requested a trade officially today to the Western Bulldogs, and that trade went through an hour after the request. He's contracted for the Deans for another year. He's officially a Bulldogs player, is James Harms, after the Bulldogs sent Melbourne's way a future 3rd-round pick, which is about right, future 4th. But again, he's contracted, so they had to pay a little bit more than they probably wanted to, the Bulldogs. But James Harms, the Demon midfielder, is officially a Bulldogs player for 2024 and beyond. And the biggest news of today, as of this recording, is Ben McKay is officially a Bomber as a free agent. And the big question was, that's on a 6-year deal too, by the way. Ridiculous 6-year deals. Get rid of them. Anything over 5's a joke. Anyway, he's got a 6-year deal with the Bombers, and he's obviously on big money, around $800,000 a year. So that's netted North Melbourne pick 3 compensation. Now, I understand people are going to be very angry with this, but unfortunately, you're going to have to suck it up. Is it right? No, it's not. But it goes on the age, the money, the length, and the pick would go in this instance after your club's first pick. So, for example, St Kilda and Gresham, if that goes through and it's going to be the same thing, it would be after our first pick, which is pick 12. So it'd be 13. And okay, it's not who's better and all that. Just where your club finished in that ranking. Depends if it nets the compensation for after your first ladder position or the end of a round or at the start of a round or after your pick in the ladder position, not off trades, because obviously clubs trade picks throughout previous years for this year and et cetera, et cetera. So it goes off your actual ladder position order. So North would get pick 3 and they've gotten that. Now the real question is, will North Melbourne use this? They've got 2, 3, they've got the couple of picks between 10 and 20, and they've got those future first rounders, end of first rounders for next year that they'll probably have to get rid of anyway. So they've got like 7, and then they got their own future first. So they got 3 first-round picks next year. They got 3, I think, so far this year, and the start of a second round. So then got a bunch of picks they can get rid of, and I think they will go up for pick 1. And if any club is the favourite, people ask me about Hawthorn. I don't think so. I think North Melbourne are the firm favourite for pick 1 of the Eagles if they want to get rid of Harley Reid. It's plain and simple, this one. They want Harley Reid, West Coast, they keep it. They want Dan Curtin and have a risk of Harley Reid. They trade it with North Melbourne. They get 2 or 3 with the future first and like pick 11 or 10 or 11, whatever, 11, what's North also got, something like that, or 14, around that mark. They trade, say, 2, pick between 10 and 15, and a future first, and that gets it done. And there'll be some little picks here and there around it, I'm sure. But then West Coast get Dan Curtin. They get an extra pick in the between 10 and 15, and they get a future first or that end of first round pick next year. It's win-win for both clubs. North get Harley Reid, they desperately want him. But North, if they were to keep what they've got, you could be getting Curtin yourself and pinch it off Eagles, or you get McKercher, Dersma, Watson, Sanders, O'Sullivan, even those later picks as well in the first round. So you could be getting some really good players there. So I wouldn't be too concerned if I'm a North fan if you don't get Harley Reid. Obviously, you'd ideally want him, but then you're getting Harley Reid and then someone between around 14 or so, where the top 10 is very strong, and then after that, it spreads out to start to be a bit even-ish from there. So I would be careful, North Melbourne, to not sell too much for Harley Reid, because you're better off having the position that you're in right now at pick 2, pick 3, the pick around 14, and those future firsts of your own, and then those back-end first rounds next year. But I'll be getting rid of those back-end ones and try and push into this year, or just get a future first from another club. And get rid of those 2 end of first rounds. And you could maneuver ways to move up the board again. You could have 2, 3, I think it's 14 you got right now, and using those 2 future firsts back end of first rounds, that could get you into a pick around 12 this year. So the Gold Coast pick 10, you could use that as well. Just imagine 2, 3, 10, 14, and your own future first next year. That looks pretty damn good if you ask me. Then you got your future second as well. So a lot to ponder for the Roos. Comment down below what you think of the Ben McKay combo pick, and if you're understanding the reasoning like I do. And what you thought of Peter Bell, James Harms, Bulldogs, Demons fans. How do you feel about this move? Very interesting one. Yeah, it's a very interesting one. They've had conversations, Freo said, so that'll be a very, very interesting one. And Brandon Parfitt too, just quickly before we leave this video, Brandon Parfitt is committed to stay at Geelong and not request a trade out. Interesting one. I feel it was best for him to go. But like as a quote from him, if he left, he could be going to 17 other clubs and he's not in their best midfield. So he's been a bit realistic. So that's smart from him. But, I mean, he might get a chance now at Geelong's midfield, even though he didn't this year. But he may this year with Dangerfield starting to get towards the end, etc. They might give more time to players like that. Comment down below. Like the video. Subscribe if you haven't already. We would greatly appreciate it. There'll be a video tomorrow night, daily Facebook posts and Instagram posts. So keep an eye out for that. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Like the video. We'd greatly appreciate it. Come on, Saints. Get Paddy Dow, Liam Henry, and potentially someone else. Lockie Whitfield. Thank you all. Go Saints.